Welcome, everybody, to the Stitch and Hustle podcast show. My name is Jacob with Leathercraft Nation. We're going to be talking about how to grow your side hustle on social media. So whether you got a side hustle, a hobby, or even a business and you're trying to figure out how to get started on social media, definitely stick around. We're going to go over a few topics today that might be able to help you out. So I myself I'm trying to get my social media to a point where it'll make money. Not going to lie. And if you're in that position where you're either wanting to become a full-time content creator, or if you have a product to sell and you want to get your name out a little bit more, I highly suggest getting in front of a camera. But that doesn't mean that you have to have your face in the camera in the videos. There are plenty of people out there that do a no-face video. And if you're into leathercraft or into any other type of side hustle, I promise you there's people out there like a company called Quartered Leather that does nothing but faceless videos. And he has 600,000 subscribers. Let's see, I'm going to look real quick. Quartered Leather. Sorry, okay, not quite 600, 585,000 subscribers. And he doesn't show his face. And I promise he's probably not the only one. I guarantee you he's not. So if you're thinking about getting in front of the camera, just know that you don't have to show your face if you don't want to. Now, there's certain side hustles that you might have to be in front of a camera. It might be a little hard to get your point across, but just be thinking about that. If you create something, if you're making anything, just know that all you have to do is point the camera at what you're making, start making it, but you have to explain the process as you're making it. So if you're going to do a faceless video, just know that you're going to have to bring value somewhere, some way into that video. And it's going to be different for everybody. I can't tell you what you have to do for your niche. All I can tell you is that if you can't be face to face, if you're not comfortable with it, if you just absolutely don't want to, bring some type of value to the video, the situation, the story. Something has to be there. But if you're not starting making videos because, well, it's awkward, people are going to see it. Yeah, they're going to see it. But it's okay. Get through those videos. Get through the awkwardness and push through. And I promise you're going to get there. It's not that bad. The other thing is, don't wait on fancy equipment. If you don't have the fancy equipment to begin with, don't worry about it. If you got a smartphone, I'm partial to iPhone and Apple, but that's just me. I know other people may not feel the same way about my love for Apple products, but seriously, guys, a smartphone will do just what you need to make videos. You just have to turn it on, get in front of it, and show people what you're making. So I've been doing woodworking for a little bit. At least that's when I started. YouTube, TikTok, social media, doing a little bit of woodworking. But I really wasn't into it 100%. I took advantage of CNC machines that had just come out, doing reviews, using those and getting a lot of views, a lot of subscribers on it. But it really wasn't what I wanted to do long term. So I shifted gears, of course, with everything going on in the last couple of years. Um, Wood prices started getting up pretty high. So I shifted gears, went towards leathercraft, kept my laser, um, and and really started diving deep into content creation about 8 months ago. So knowing that you can start from zero just like everybody else, knowing that your favorite creators that have millions of followers and subscribers also started with zero. And I get it, some creators, celebrity creators, whatever you want to call them, get a little bit of more of a push because of who they are. But not all of them are that way. Some of them that just got sick and tired of their day job and was like, hey, I think I can make something and just get in front of a camera and let people know what I make and keep doing that, keep showing up, that eventually people are going to build a relationship with you and they're going to show up each time. Now, granted, I'm not one of those that has 1 million followers. I'm still even working on trying to get my 10,000 on TikTok. If you're new to content creation for TikTok, you need 1,000 followers to go live. That's a milestone. Then there's some other perks once you break 10,000 and so forth. If you're thinking about the YouTube side of it, you need 1,000 subscribers and you need 4,000 hours watch time to start monetizing your channel. And 4,000 hours sounds like a lot, and it is. It takes a while, at least for me. I'm still working on that part. But I can see that the process that I'm using is working. I can see that if I post consistently, and I think that's where a lot of people, kind of fall off the edge there. They don't post consistently. They think, okay, well, if I post, once a week, that I'm going to get traction, or they think that I'll post 100 times this week, then I'm going to go a couple months and then not post anything at all. That's not consistency. Showing up every day, every other day, or at least like once a week, that's consistency. But you got to understand, even showing up once a week, it's going to be slow. It's probably not going to work out long term for you just showing up once a week. People want to see. They want to see you. They want to build a relationship with you. They want to see that if you're coming to them, showing them something, promising them that you're going to teach them a new skill or entertain them, that you're going to show up. And the thing of it is, if you're not going to show up, then you're not giving them a reason to stay. And then they'll just find someone else to go listen to or follow. And the sad thing is, you might have really good information. You might have better techniques than the other person. But you got to show up. You got to get past this fear of just getting in front of the camera, pressing record, and just uploading the video. Like I said, your first videos, especially if you're doing YouTube, or even if you're doing short form videos, they might not be the best. But the only way that you're going to learn is to keep doing them. And believe you me, I've done a lot of bad videos. I still do. Some of them just, you get to a point where you're like, hey, I got to knock out some videos. You're trying to keep the quality of it high rather than just batching out content. Like, you want to have some value. But sometimes you just got to do it. Even when you don't feel like it. Got to put a happy face on. Got to smile. Unless you're just that content creator that's always in a bad mood, and people know that, hey, that's the woodworker that's always in a bad mood. I hope he doesn't cut his finger off today. He's always in a bad mood. So, Outnumbered says, what's up? Every day I'm lasering. Yes. One day I'm going to get there where every day I'm lasering or stitching. A little bit of both. I'm still working on that. So the other thing is, you got to know what social media do you want to tackle. I don't really suggest doing them all, at least at the beginning, because you're going to burn yourself out. You can give it a try. I'm not telling you not to. But just know that doing the Instagram, doing Facebook Reels and TikTok and YouTube and everything in between, it'll get tiring. Now, what you might want to try, if you do, hit them, for a good month or so. Maybe look at the analytics and see where you're getting the most growth, and double down on those. And so for me, I did a good 6 months uploading to all these platforms. And even though I upload to a few of them that I don't really gain a lot of traction on, I double down on the ones that do. For me personally, TikTok is one of them and YouTube is the other. I don't know why I can't gain any traction on Instagram. If any of y'all here or listening in the replay has a tip for Instagram or Facebook Reels, I'm still working on that. So, but I still post occasionally, but I'm really, like I said, doubling down on what works. And that's my suggestion, is double down on what works. Whether it is like me, TikTok, YouTube, hit it hard. For some people, it's going to be once a day, 3 times a day, 10 times a day. It may be different. I really try to get 3 pieces of content every day. I don't always get there, but it seems like 3 pieces of content is enough to feed my audience. It's enough to show even new people what I'm making, or at least what I'm talking about. A good friend of mine was talking about the 3 verticals, that you should have 3 different topics that you talk about. And I fully agree with him, and I'm kind of shifting gears, and I'm going to be testing that. But I know it works because he's been doing it. So you have your main niche, but then you have 2 topics surrounding that niche that are very similar that you can talk about. So he put it in perspective as if you're one topic that could reach 1 billion people. Like, for a fact that 1 billion people would be into this. And then you have another topic or another area where you think half of that would be interested in that topic. And then your third one is your niche. Like, that it's going to be limited people. You're not trying to reach the whole world. You're trying to reach the ones that really understand the niche or really passionate about the niche. And they'll watch your videos. So think of the other two, they're hooks. You're trying to get people in. And if they catch one of your other videos, they're like, hey, this guy also does this, this, and this. That's cool. I'm going to watch that just for the heck of it. But I really like his other videos. So they're still getting value. Outnumbered says, but if you think your focus, but I think if your focus is TikTok, it's very easy to cross post on YouTube Reels. I fully agree with that. So YouTube Shorts are a maximum of 60 seconds long. That's the only thing that I run into where I have to mentally know or keep a timer on my videos. That I have to make sure that they're 60 seconds if I'm cross-posting in any type of content. TikTok, you can do more than 60. I think you can go up to 10 minutes long now, which I think is crazy. But yes, make your content and try to make it where you can share it on multiple platforms. Again, 60 seconds max on YouTube. And I wholeheartedly believe, because I've seen the numbers, I've seen my numbers, I've seen other people's numbers. Shorts are where it's at. Vertical shorts are where it's at. Catch this, so that is for growing faster. Followers and subscribers. Now, if you're looking into YouTube to start a channel and you're trying to build it up to get monetized so you can start making money, just know that your YouTube Shorts will not count towards your hours. You have to have 4,000 watch hours for YouTube, and your Shorts will not count. The only way that you can monetize with Shorts alone, this is crazy, get ready for this, 10 million views. It's insane. Unless you can go viral multiple times. And I think it's 10 million, if I remember right. Excuse me. It's 10 million in 3 months, 90 days. So, outnumbered, start to build your hours watch. And again, this buddy of mine, he's like, hey, you need to do a podcast. And I'm like, I don't want to do a podcast. Because this is something new for me, is trying to figure out what to talk about for 30 minutes to an hour. And after about 30 minutes, I feel like I'm stumbling over myself trying to figure out what to talk. And it's something that I'm personally learning. Just like anybody else, or like when I first started YouTube and TikTok and making these videos, you go back to some of my earlier videos, and I kid you not, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I barely know what I'm doing now, but I really didn't know what I was doing. Since then, I've done some stuff where I feel a little bit more confident. Over time, I've made enough videos where I can get the ideas across a little bit better here and there. But it still takes time. And it's really different when you're talking about knocking out a 15-second video and you're like, hey, I can get this point across, bam, 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 shoot. You can get 3, 4, 5 different topics thrown out in a 15 to 30-second video. I use a app called CapCut. So if you haven't tried that, look CapCut up. Really good for editing your video. You can do green screen, all these effects. I don't do any of the effects and stuff. I'll do some green screens because if you're in a niche where you're giving information to people and you're like, hey, I've got a screenshot of this topic that I found on the internet, I want to talk about it, take a screenshot of it, slap it on the old green screen and be like, hey, this, and this right here is why you should do this, and this. Other than that, I don't do any crazy filters like some of these other people do. I'm just not into the filters. There's a big debate about whether or not the music works. 9 times out of 10, I don't use any of the music. I just upload it with the native audio, me talking and stuff. So, let's see. Fitness Realtor would love to check out my fitness and nutrition account. Trying to grow so I can go live. Love you to check. Yeah, I'll check it out. Sure. What I can suggest though is keep posting. That's the only way you're going to grow. And the other thing to go along with that is if you are posting the same exact type of content, and I'm not saying like, like if you're in fitness, for instance, if you are showing them, only one, give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm sorry. My kid is going crazy yelling. Autumn. Shh. Struggles of having a kid, trying to do a live. So, no, let's go back to, the fitness. So if you're going into it and your videos are only about upper body, okay, that's great. What about the people that have chicken legs? They need some love too. So, and I'm just throwing that out. Myself, I need to go to the gym, so I can't say much. But just know that, like, for me, if I am doing leathercraft and all I'm doing is showing the process, I'm showing how to hand stitch, but then people see this laser in the background and they're like, hey, we want to see the laser. You got this laser over here and we don't see anything. I don't care what it is. I just want to see the laser turn on. Okay, we'll do that. Hey, you got a sewing machine over here. Show me some love. Show me what you got. Don't constrict your channel to just one area. Branch out a little bit. Experiment a little bit. If you're in fitness and you're thinking, okay, well, I'm going to show them how to do this exercise or that exercise, but maybe you need to, pepper in some nutritional facts. Hey, you can work out, but what they say, abs are created in the kitchen or something like that. You'll maybe throw in a fitness recipe. Like, your whole channel don't have to be just about fitness recipes, but you want to branch out a little bit. Jason asks, what are you working on? Honestly, I am working on, I don't have it right here in front of me, but I'm working on the current project anyway, is a hand restraint holder. So this is my side hustle. I do work for a corrections facility here in the state of Texas. We'll leave it at that. And so I'm working on leather goods that one would wear in a correction facility. So a lot of the stuff for like that, it's either made out of plastic, like Kydex, which I mean, I'm not against like Kydex and form fitting stuff like that, but I just want one out of leather. And a lot of the stuff that you buy online is usually like genuine leather. it's really not anything good. It's going to fall apart. So, outnumbered, where do I buy my leather? I go to Tandy Leather here locally. I'll be honest with you, what I've heard from other people, they're not the best buying online. But, oh Lord, I just went blank. Rocky Mountain Leather Supply are fantastic for buying online. So they are a little bit more expensive, but their leather is top notch. I usually go with like their Pueblo leather, or it's the same. I'm going to butcher this too. Let me look this up real quick. Badalasi, Carlo, Badallassi, Carlo. So, if anybody can pronounce that, more power to you. But on Rocky Mountain Leather Supply's website, they make a veg tan leather. That's the Pueblo leather. They do a waxy leather. And this is their waxy leather. They've got and then this is the Pueblo leather and the sapphire. But no, really good leather. And they ship it fairly quick. I'd say within about a week or so each time that I've ordered. Certain colors do go out of stock a lot quicker. And like I'm looking at it right now. Got they got like 18 different colors that you can choose from. And I love it for the laser. Like I have no problem cutting it on the laser. So, let's see. Okay, yeah, if you have a Tandy locally, it's good to get started. I'll leave it at that. If it's anything like mine, it's really limited to what they have. I bought some other pull-up leathers from them, some natural veg tan, stuff like that. You're going to be okay with. Try to hit them when they have sales, because they when they do have sales, they're pretty dang good. I got a side of the Volcano pull-up leather for like $60. And I think normally it's $100. Jason asks, is your end goal to do leather work full time? Yes and no. So my end goal is to be a content creator that I can show people that they can make leather goods, either by hand or on the laser. And then I also want to be able to supply people with digital patterns, with acrylic templates, and just different stuff that I think could help really a beginner leather crafter. And really, even if they do decide to make it into a side hustle and try to make money, because that honestly, I can't tell people, hey, you should do this, this, and this to make leathercraft a business for you. Because I'm not there yet. I don't want to give people, even though I know that a lot of the things are, you apply the same concept for a business, but I don't want to tell people like straight up, hey, if you want to be a successful business, you need to do this. Well, I haven't got there yet, but I'm still working on it. Said Rocky Mountain Leather is the way to go, in my opinion. Yeah, I haven't had any issues with them. I've used them a few times now. The other one that I want to check out that I've heard really good things about is Springfield Leather. I follow them on TikTok and other social media, and it seems like they have some really good selections. They have they look like really cool people on social media, so that's what I like. Like they really pump out some videos. They kind of build that relationship, so I'm definitely going to give them a try. I've lasered everything except for real leather. I've only done real leather, so I'm not sure. Yeah, I can't relate to that, but certain leathers, of course, smell like you can smell it more. But like the Pueblo leather, like you hardly even tell that there's any type of odor. Um, I keep hearing things about you shouldn't laser chrome tan leather, and I found a really good video on a guy that breaks down how certain chrome tan leathers are made. And the pull-up leather, which is a chrome tan leather, does absolutely fine on the laser. No harsh chemical smell, no fumes, no burn off. Like you don't see any type of green flame or anything like you would if you were to do any type of like like engraving a record, vinyl record. Certain plastics you just don't want to. But I haven't had an issue with that. But I primarily cut and engrave the Pueblo leather, the veg tan. It's worked really good. So, what's the best way to start leathercraft for someone cheap, like an Amazon kit, or what? So this is what I break down in some of my videos. I do suggest Amazon kits. However, if you're only doing this for a hobby and you don't know if you're going to like it or not, you can get away with a cheap kit. Say you get one for, let's say $50 or $30. Because I always tell people, look into some of the kits for $30 to $40 and then get some really good leather. Spend another $50 on a good piece of leather. You can get away with it. And then upgrade your tools as you see fit. But yeah, you can definitely get a kit off of Amazon. It would be cheaper. Just know you're going to get cheaper tools. They're not going to be high quality. Just know that. You might have to still get some consumables. You might have to get some glue. You might have to get some brushes, some foam brushes or something to put the glue on. You might have to get some token oil, some burnishing gum, or you can use water. You don't have to use any of that. So just know, like, the kits are there to jumpstart you. You're going to probably get a cheap knife, which my thing is you can use an X-Acto knife. You can use a utility knife. You might get a wood slicker. You might get you'll get some needles, some stitching irons. So yeah, it'll give you the baseline what you need, but I can't say it's the best option. Because like for me, like I knew that I wanted to get into leathercraft. I knew that I wanted to learn and that I wasn't going to just do it here and there. Like my heart was in it. Like I had been researching other content creators. I had been researching what type of leather. And even though I knew like enough to get me started, like I still had to learn. But knowing that I was going to go into it full steam ahead, I went ahead and invested in good tools. So if you're thinking about like, hey, I am going to do this long term. This isn't a hobby. Like I want to learn to make money. I would almost suggest just going ahead and getting. You might not have to get like the best of the best tools, but I would skip the Amazon kit, and I would try to look at buying some entry level leather tools. Because the bad thing about some of those kits, you get a 50-piece kit and you might use a quarter of it. And when they say 50 piece, it's like, hey, we included 10 needles and, that's part of your 50 kit. Like, come on now. A package of needles should just be one item, right? But they don't look at it that way. You're also going to get a lot of thread. The quality of the thread may not be good. You can't expect much out of a $30 kit is all I'm saying. It's great for someone that's doing it as a hobby, someone that's just getting into it. But that's really all that I have on that. Like, if it's a hobby, get the kit. If you think that you're going to turn this into a side hustle, save your money. Get something a little bit better. What type of equipment does a beginner need? I have a few videos on that over on my YouTube channel, but to kind of briefly go over the equipment that you need, it differs depending on if you're doing just straight stitching. You're going to need some stitching or pricking irons. You're going to need needles. Like, it's very simple. Like, you don't need all these fancy tools. Stitching iron, needles, an X-Acto knife, and honestly, that's it. Like, you can do very basic leather work with just those few tools. Now, you might need stuff like a cutting mat. There's other stuff associated with that I don't really consider tools. You might need a wood slicker. If you don't do wood slicker, you might do like a piece of canvas. You're going to need consumables like glue, burnishing gum, or you can use water if you're using veg tan leather. But yeah, very limited to get started. Now, if you're getting into tooling, which I don't do tooling, there's plenty of other leather crafters out there that do a phenomenal job at tooling. But that's where you start getting into all your different stamps and stuff like that. Which, again, I don't know anything about tooling, so I really can't help you there. I tried it once. I do want to get into it as a hobby. But I don't know about doing it as part of my side hustle just yet. So, Laser, how's it going, man? Jason, love your stuff. Keep doing what you're doing, man. I appreciate it. I really do. This is, and I follow some of these content creators, especially when I was in woodworking and stuff, that they started 5 years ago, and they're going full time. And I'm like, man, like I started watching them when they had, like, I don't know, 25 to 50,000 followers, subscribers, and now they're, a 250,000, 500,000, and they're, every time I see these, and then they release the video of, I just quit my job. And I'm like, you suck. Not really, but, no, it's like good for them. Like, they pushed themselves more than I did, and like, they deserve that. And that's why I'm like, okay, like, I'm done playing around. I want to keep pushing out videos. And like, I've noticed, like, the more that I make these videos, the more I learn. Because I've screwed up a lot of a lot of material. So learned a lot of stuff with the laser. But one thing that I have learned over the last 8 months of doing the leathercraft and pushing really hard, is that if I just show up, people will watch as long as it's, good quality. And I'm not talking about like, the video quality. Again, like I said before, you can use your camera phone, the camera on your phone. You don't need a fancy $5,000 camera, all this crazy editing software, and just show up a few times. Like, I literally step into my garage and I make a few 15-second videos about a topic. I go into a app called Captions. Now, you do have to pay for that one, but you don't have to. Like, I didn't start out that way. I literally came in here, made a few 15-second videos, posted them, and kept doing that, and kept doing it, and kept doing it. I don't have videos that have 100,000 views or 1,000,000 views. I have some that, a few that are 60,000, 50,000. But most of them, honestly, are like 500 views to 1,500 views. And I'll be honest with you, I'm really okay with that, because I truly think that the people that are watching it are the people that need to see it. I'm not an entertaining channel. Like, I'm not here. I'm not one of those creators. I'm here to show you guys, or at least, encourage people. I might crack a joke here and there, but like, I just want people that are sick of the 9 to 5, or maybe they just want a little extra money on the side. Like, you're not looking to quit your job tomorrow, but like, you want something that could bring in an extra $100 a month, $200. And that's kind of what I got into it, because it was like, man, I can make this. Okay, I sold that one and I made, $25. Okay. Well, 3 years ago, $25 went a lot longer. It would feed 2 people when you went out to eat. Now it feeds 1. And then it kind of scales from there. Then you're like, okay, well, I made enough this month where I can pay a utility bill. I can pay my car payment. Just think of it that way. Like, again, it's not about, hey, I'm going to start this today and tomorrow I'm going to quit my job. Take your time. And if you didn't catch my podcast episode yesterday, I talk about making a profit. And sometimes if you're in that position where you're like, hey, I've got enough money for my regular job, I'm going to take the money that I'm earning and I'm going to reinvest it in my side hustle. So, that's really what I've been doing, is reinvesting it in my side hustle. So, every little bit helps. Like, if I can make something, and make a little bit of money and buy another side of leather, even though I don't have any projects or anything as far as like a current customer, at least I know that I can reinvest that material and I can make a project here and there. And like, if you're getting into leathercraft, it's really cool when you can make a wallet, and starting out you might get, $50, $75. But if like you were to make a couple of those and it pays for a whole side of leather, well, now you have a whole side of leather you can play with. Or you just keep making money. Friends, family, get on Etsy, all that fun stuff. But I highly suggest getting on social media. Again, it doesn't matter what platform Just because one platform works better than another for, better for me, different platforms might work better for you. You might get on Instagram and hit those reels, hit Facebook reels, and blow up. Honestly, I'm still trying to figure out the whole algorithm on those. I'm not quite there. Like I said, YouTube and TikTok is what's helped me grow. But just show up, guys. Try to build that relationship. And the other thing is just be authentic with people. Like, hey, if you're just getting started, there's no shame in say, hey, this is my first project. I'm learning. Let me know what you think. I just let people know, because I promise you, people can see through the BS of someone trying to fake it. So, Nanzil, yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say that, but how's it going, man? Appreciate you joining. Where can I listen to your podcast? So, you can go to my YouTube channel. That's where I've uploaded all the live from TikTok. This weekend, I'm hoping to get everything where people can search for it on like Spotify, Apple, all the different podcast streaming platforms. One thing that I can tell you guys, and I treat it like the YouTube videos, like if you're getting started, try to upload, and this even goes for like TikTok, in my opinion, I try to upload like 10 or 15 videos at once, because I hate going to a channel and like they have one video up there and I was like, man, that was a great video, I want to go see more, and then he doesn't have anything. So this one will be episode 7. I would like to get 10, so that's why I'm saying by the weekend I should have everything set up. It's going to be it's called the Stitch and Hustle Podcast Show. So yeah, you can definitely go over, hit my my bio. It has the link to the YouTube channel, and you can check out some of the other videos. Like I said, I'm just getting started on this, so I'm still working on improving each time. So, like I said earlier, it's a lot different making 15-second videos compared to making 30-minute or longer videos. So, still working on that. Let's see. Didn't gotta head out. Man, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Guys, if you're looking for other creators, check out Denton Laser Engraving. He also does some really cool lives on his laser. Definitely check him out if you get a chance. Buc-ee's, yes. Yeah, I like Buc-ee's. It's if anybody has not been to one and you ever get a chance, definitely go. It's an experience for sure. I live quite a few hours away from the nearest one, and last year they just said that they were going to give us one, and they just broke ground. I think they just broke ground, so we should be getting one up here in the Texas Panhandle. So I'm excited. Just one more place for me to spend my money. Good food, good everything. Excuse me. Jules, can I ask questions? Not about the side hustle, but about leather. Yeah, sure, definitely. Yeah, ask away. I'll do my best to answer them. Oh, excuse me. The weather up here is so bipolar. We've been dealing with cold weather, hot weather. 80-mile-an-hour winds, straight line winds. With you would think there's a tornado outside your door, and there's nothing. And then everything's starting to bloom. It's a mess. Mad Dogs, how's it going, man? Appreciate you joining. Excuse me. Do I have any recommendations for where to start? I want to create planter covers, but I'm overwhelmed. Okay. So let's see. With that, it depends on the type of leather that you want to use. I'm gonna say you can go really any route with either chrome tan or veg tan leather. For that, let's see. Give me 2 seconds. So I did this, and it's just a small filled notebook cover. Nothing too fancy. And this was with a chrome tan, chrome tan pull-up leather. Sorry, that I got from Tandy. It's a Volcano called Volcano pull-up leather. And so no, you can do either one. Honestly, I would try to keep it between like a 3.5 ounce, give or take. Anything thicker than that, you might have trouble with it folding or closing. This one, I probably could have put some type of strap or buckle clip or something, but it's mostly because of the pin. But yeah, other than that, Jules, I'm trying to think of something else to help you out there, because if you're tooling, let's see, like Maddox said, if you're tooling, then you need to get natural veg tan so that you can do tooling. If you're not going to do tooling, you have so many options with chrome tan and veg tan. You can get all sorts of colors. I really, like I had said earlier, I'm not sure if you were on yet, Rocky Mountain Leather Supply, and then Springfield Leather. You can get on there, and whatever leather you find, like your veg tan, chrome tan, stuff like that, you can get it split. So you can get them to split it to the ounce, the thickness you want, and they don't charge for that. So, like a lot of my leather, because I do smaller goods, I try to stick around that 3.5 to 4 ounce. I think a lot of it ends up coming. I think they sell it at like maybe a 6 to 7 ounce, give or take, on some of them. So yeah, just looking at that first. As far as setting up the templates or patterns, that's the only thing that gets a little bit tricky, because you have to understand that if you're the thickness of it, you've got to account for the spine, I guess you'd call it, the thickness of that. So that's the only thing. Now I am working on patterns and acrylic templates for this. I haven't released those yet. But that's where, like, even for me, that's where a lot of my time goes into, is the prototyping. That's where a lot of my money goes towards, is the prototyping. I have a whole bag full of wallets that will never see the light of day. Maybe one day I'll do a video of all the failed wallets that I made, but just know that sometimes if you are doing your own prototyping, your own patterns, they don't always work out. And starting out, if you're doing that type of stuff like the prototyping, it might be better to get some less expensive leather. Like Springfield Leather always has discounted leather. Tandy Leather, if you're local, I haven't used them as far as shipping directly to me because I have one local. They always have sales on some of their leather, and I learned they had the Volcano pull-up leather, and it was a whole side or half a side, whole side. I'm trying to think, whole side for $60. And even though it wasn't really the weight that I wanted for certain projects, like it gave me a chance to really learn how to piece things together, if that makes sense. Maddox, the Volcano's a chrome tan pull-up leather. This is that's from Tandy. Now the waxy pull-up leather from Rocky Mountain Leather Supply, that one is in the veg tan. Don't know why. At least that's what the description says on their website. That's all I can really go off of. Let's see. Yeah, and Mad Docs also said buy notebook in bulk. That's my advice. That is what I would advise too. Whether you get it from Amazon or anywhere else, I buy the filled notebooks in bulk, and that way they only come out to be like, I don't know, $1 or so, or $2. Jules says, I sell stationery among other things, just want to take another direction. No, for sure. Definitely. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If it's a skill that you're wanting to dive into, if it's something else you can add value to, new customers or existing customers, for sure. Let's see. Looking for a set of Cinnabrooks. Yeah, definitely check him out. I know he had some a set that he was selling. And if anybody is really serious about leathercraft, Cinnabrooks, I like Cinnabrooks. Make something on live if you got time. Yeah, I'll give that a try maybe this weekend or next. I've been working on the sewing machine, trying to do more stuff with that. It's not really my thing. I'm still learning that. Might do like a tutorial on the laser. That's something I'm pretty comfortable with, that I can make. Okay, you got some punching irons that you're selling. Okay. Jules says, I'm excited for the prototyping. No, you should be, because even though I will be selling the templates and the patterns for the filled notebook, and I have one of my wallets on there, like, I want people to understand, hey, you can take that exact same design and sell it. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I want people to learn and sell them. But I also want people to understand, like, the concept, I guess, behind, like, why do you need to do it a certain way? Like I said, I made a couple of these filled notebooks the wrong way. got mess all over it. Where I runt, not really runt. I cut it too small, or I didn't allow for a large enough pocket to allow for the spine. But if it helps people understand how to make their own, well, I think that's a plus. I don't agree with people that sell patterns or templates, and then they're like, yeah, I don't sell them, like, But then again, my whole side hustle going into a business model per se is that I want people to gain the confidence, I guess, to sell something. Excuse me, guys. I want people to learn from it, and maybe I just think a little bit differently than other creators. My thing is, it's no big secret that I cut a piece of leather in a rectangle shape, and I have a different design for the top of it. I put a few pieces together. Like, it's not that big of a secret. The only thing that I'm providing for you, say if you were to buy a wallet template, is the fact that, okay, you don't have to waste leather, because if you're a beginner, you might not be thinking about, well, I know my credit card is this size. Well, if I make my wallet just a little bit bigger, that should work. But then you forget, okay, well, when you go to stitch it and you're stitching whatever you choose, to put your stitch line, and then come to find out that, well, your wallet is too tight and it doesn't give enough room for you to put a card in. You've wasted that leather. And it might not be a whole lot of leather, but that's a lot of time. So if I can provide a template or a pattern, it's like, okay, this I've done the work. Like, I've screwed up enough leather to know that, okay, this will work. The other ones didn't. I had to tweak it a little bit that it'll work, and then you can modify it from there. It's someone had posted a comment and he was like, you use patterns and templates for inspiration, and that was like perfect. Like, yeah, you hit the nail on the head. Like, I'm showing you a direction, at least a baseline per se. Like, once you get that, like, you can do anything from there. So yeah, you should be excited for prototyping, because why do you want to make the same thing that everybody else does? Like, yes, I get it. Like, a lot of the stuff I do is similar to other leather crafters, but for your niche, you might have something that is completely different, that's going to set you apart from everybody else. Let's see. I want to go back here because, so yeah, you sell a stationery. Yeah, you might have just like a different inset or inlay for your stationery. I really don't know. But no, prototyping is awesome. I like it. Let's see. I missed some comments here. Do I have a favorite type of leather? Yes. That is going to be the Pueblo leather. And I like the texture, the look of it. This is the sapphire leather. Got some olive green. And I know I have some tobacco around here somewhere. I just don't know. Oh, hold on. And here's some tobacco. It's a little bit more than like your average leather, but I really like it. They make, let's see, I think it's called Mordova. I might be saying that wrong. Or Mordova. I was hoping I can find it real quick. Mordova? Maybe it's Mordova. Yeah, the tobacco, and that's just it. You know, pictures and video. Okay, it's called Minerva. I was like, it's on the tip of my tongue. The Minerva, it's still a veg tan leather. It's made by the same, or tanned by the same tannery. But it's smoother. Like, you don't get that like tire stripe texture in it. So if you're looking for something with a consistent color all the way through, Minerva veg tan leather from Rocky Mountain Leather. Autotech, yes, you did. Jumped in at the right time. I'm sorry, guys. I'm having to go back on some of the contents comments. Been a long day. My 80 watt ohm tech should be here hopefully this week. Heck yeah, Remy. Man, that's awesome. I kind of wish I got the 80 watt, just to have the 80 watt. Excuse me, guys. I just have the 60 watt. It's working great. I hear that the 80 watt, the tubes last longer. I've had this for a few years now, still doing strong. But it works for what I need so far. So congratulations to you on getting that. Autotech Joe, can you cut templates out and mail them? The leather company I used to doesn't have the ones I want. So the templates that I'm working on, I have a handful. I just haven't released them yet. I'll be doing acrylic templates for them. I don't really offer any type of service where you can mail me plans and I cut them out. Like, I don't really offer that type. But if you do that, there's so many different laser companies out there that offer stuff like that. But eventually I will be working on my own templates for that. I've got a couple different wallets. I will be releasing the field notebook cover. I will do a keychain template. Okay, new to Leathercraft. Yeah. So yeah, it really depends on what you're making. Let's see. Like I said, I'm only going to have a handful of different items that I'll be working with to sell. Um, Quarter Leather is a very good a guy to follow on YouTube. Check out his website. He has a lot of templates and patterns on his website, and they're very reasonably priced. Like, that's what I like about him. And on top of that, he even has a disclaimer that says, "Hey, if you want to make these and sell them, you can." Um, Another one is Little King Goods. Um, his are a little bit more pricey. Um, but here's the thing, though. Like, I haven't bought anything from him, so I won't say 100%. So if you do, just know that I haven't bought anything from him. But I've seen his work. I've seen enough videos. I've joined some of his lives, and I could tell you that, like, he's not skipping any steps. The leather that he chooses, the tools that he uses, the thread. I mean, like, everything that he uses is quality. So, uh, so just know on that. But like I said, his templates are a little bit more. The other thing is, his whole disclaimer is that he doesn't want you to sell anything straight from that template. He wants you to alter them at least a little bit, tweak them, which I don't see anything wrong with that. Like I said, I'm okay with, like, straight up 100%. You can take mine, make it, sell it, whatever you want. So I'm perfectly fine with that. But if he wants to do that, I think that's fine. Like, again, use it as a baseline. Is there something you wish you knew when you started? The only thing that I can say for me personally, let's see if I have it sitting around here. Getting started, I wouldn't suggest getting a round knife. I mean, I use it here and there. It's $50 or 45, I can't remember which. Like, it wasn't extremely expensive. Like, you can get some pretty expensive knives. But it wasn't really worth it starting out. So other than that, like, really knowing what tools I was going to use for what I was doing. That's the only thing. And that's really hard to see other leather crafters and what they're making and what tools you're going to need, because you see, like, I saw leather crafters that use that exact same knife, or a straight skiving knife. If all you're doing is cutting out the leather, I just suggest getting an X-Acto knife or a utility knife. You're going to have more control over that. That's something that you might be used to already. A lot of people have used it for other projects. So unless you're going to do a lot of skiving, if you're doing a lot of layers that require you to skive, I want to get a squared off blade. I don't even like a Japanese skiving knife, not the round knife or bell knife. I can't remember what they call it. I think round knife or head knife. Like I said, I don't use it, so I think Tandy calls them round knives. But Yeah, it's just knowing what tools that you really need for the projects. Um, the other thing, like I knew I was going to go into this, pretty strong, so I wanted to invest early on the tools that I wanted. If you don't feel that strongly about leathercraft, as far as like, hey, I know for a fact that I'm going to be doing this long term, you might look into some less expensive tools, some entry level. Like if you're really thinking about doing this for the journal covers, like for a fact, then I wouldn't get a kit. Don't get a kit, but get some entry level tools, like Craft Tool Pro. Tandy has some entry level tools. But if you know for a fact that you're really going to get into this, then long term you might just go ahead and jump and invest in it. Let's see. Right now, I'm going to concentrate on wallets and knife sheaths. Um, Heck yeah, no, I like the wallets. I don't really know enough about knife sheaths. Other than it takes really thick leather for some of them, some of those bigger ones. I've been asked, but I never really got into it. Would prefer an X-Acto knife or a roller type knife to cut leather. Yes, I do use a rotary cutter for cutting long straight cuts. Those are perfect. And an X-Acto knife. That's all I use. I will use the round knife for skiving here and there, but I think I'm going to look at a French edge skiver or beveler, French edge beveler from like Palo Santos, and then I'll do a review on that. Should you practice with any leather or leather your product will be made from? Yeah, you could get away with any leather. The only thing that I can say is I wouldn't go with like a synthetic leather. Like if you were to get some discounted chrome tint leather from uh, Springfield Leather or Tandy, like don't get it from like Amazon or anything like that. Um, get at least a decent chrome tan leather. Stay away from like genuine leather, stuff like that. Because the only thing I can say about getting a different leather than what your product is going to be made out of, if you get a certain type of leather that doesn't burnish the same way as what your end product is being made out of, I'm afraid that you might get frustrated with the outcome of how it either cuts, how it burnishes, or how it glues up together. Certain leathers, if they have a coating, like some cheap leathers might have a coating on it, especially if it's a synthetic leather. So you might not have to go like full out and get like the best of but I would get some decent leather to start out with. That again, that's why I went with the chrome or the pull up leather from Tandy, especially when it was on sale, because $60 and it gave me a lot of leather to work with and practice. Guys, I'm so sorry I keep coughing. But just I hope that helps you out. Yeah, anytime you got a question, you can leave a comment below, or a comment in one of the videos, or shoot me a message. I'll be more than happy to help you out. So right now I'm really trying to push this whole content creation stuff really hard. So right now I am doing daily lives. Um, they are usually in the evening. I'd say between like 5 and 6 o'clock Central Time. Weekends I can't really say when I do them on the weekends, because with family and everything, it's kind of sporadic there. So It's very hard. It is. It's a long journey, and so I'm trying to learn myself the content creation, like pushing that while I'm learning the leathercraft. And you'll see a lot of people that have been doing it for a decade. I've done it for about 8 months now, so I'm still learning, but I definitely want to share that with other people. So I'm no expert by any means, but I know a little bit. I think that I can share that and give people enough information to at least start, and at least get the baseline of okay, hey, don't spend your money on this. Spend your money over here. But I usually tell people, hey, get some quality leather, um, because I made my first wallet, and I made it out of the volcano leather, which it's a good leather. It's not bad, and that's my everyday carry wallet. Like, it was the first thing that I ever made, and so it's like it's kind of nostalgic. It's like, hey, it's I see like what I did wrong. Other people would probably never know, but like if you made something out of leather and you're like it turns out really good, like you're like really impressed, and then you used a synthetic leather or a genuine leather, and 6 months later it starts flaking and tearing apart, like you're not going to be happy. So if you can afford the better leather, the full grain or top grain leathers, like I said, Rocky Mountain Leather Supply, Springfield Leather, Tandy Leather, those are just a few. Like you're going to get some good leather. So yeah, whatever. Yeah, if you want me to check anything out, let me know. Um, yeah, I'll definitely check out. Like I said, just shoot me a message, and because I get a lot of comments here and there. So um, plus, at the end of the day, my day job, I have to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I go to bed like an old person. My bedtime is not far away, so you definitely shoot me a message, because after these lives, what I do is I take a little bit to process, then I'll download them, and then I upload them on YouTube. So, but yeah, no, I'm more than willing to help anybody out. So yes, yeah, it is. I say it's about another hour and a half, give or take. Joke about it, because it's the like I said, it's the bedtime of an old person, or a kid, a 5-year-old. So, but no, yeah, shoot me a message. I'm actually going to jump off. So I really appreciate you sticking around. I really do, and everybody else, of course. But I hope everybody has a great evening. Nursing home schedule. That's it. Yes, yeah, with slightly better food. You have a good night. Hope I catch you on the next one. Like I said, about this time, Monday through Friday, weekend, or Monday through Thursday. I'm off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we'll see you next time then. Bye. I'm more than Friday, weekend, or Monday through Thursday. I'm off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we'll see you next time then. Bye. And a half, give or take.